Stars above our heads we see, secret whispers, you and me. Under moonlight, silent reach, feet on waves and hearts in speech. Stars above our heads we see, secret whispers, you and me. Kisses hidden by the tide, love and shadows can't reside. A surprise under stars so bright, on the beach we find our light. Sudden kiss, you took my breath, lips that silence every guess. In the sand our fingers twine, moments that we can't define. Kisses hidden by the tide, love and shadows can't reside. A surprise under stars so bright, on the beach we find our light. Morning sun we wake and grin, sand and dreams against our skin. Eyes that speak what hearts confess.
All right. Figures. All right, welcome back. All right, welcome back. I'm going to do a sound check real quick. That's not the sound check device. There it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, I'd say that's fucking perfect. Okay, so welcome back. It's my build world. Plans changed at the very, very last minute. So, oh, it's a big box. All right. So I thought what I would do, basically I was thinking about playing on the server a little bit, and turned out the server's down. So I thought I would jump into the creative world, and the last time I was here, I was working on something else, I think. And the idea was presented that I should take this ship, which looks like that, the red part, and then mirror it, put them together, and make something cool. So I started. I'm not completely sold on the results so far, but I did cut off a bunch of stuff and squish them together. So I thought maybe I would tinker with this a little bit, see how inspired I feel, and if nothing works for me, I'll move on to the next thing. These are the pods over here from the sides of that thing. I didn't deliberately cut them off. They just ended up getting cut off at one point when I was doing something. And I mean, I think it looks kind of good without them. So I'm not sure I'm going to add them back on. Anyway, um, there is so much detail on this thing that I'm not used to working around that much detail. So I find it a little tricky to get inside and sort of make changes and preserve like the aesthetic. For example, something simple like there's this gap here, that goes there, or a better one. There is like these gaps here, and I think there was another one back here. I don't know. There's kind of little gaps everywhere that they look really great. It makes it really hard for me, anyways, to work inside and make sure I'm not removing those. Because it'd be really easy to get in there and be like, okay, put a wall here, and then realize that I've, like for example, this has become like a cube straight across or something like that. Anyway, yeah, and sorry, I kind of sort of jumped in without really put too much thought into it. Hey Robert, it was nice chatting with you in the chat, chatting in the chat while I was waiting for everything to come up. It looks like someone else jumped in and then jumped out. I can't imagine why. So, I think the biggest thing right now that I don't like about this design is this front of this connecting area. Second thing, I'm not super jazzed on these. Yeah. What was it? You that I'm sorry, I don't remember who suggested that. Was it you or was it someone else? Because yeah, that was a really good idea. So I'm not sure. This thing's been sitting here in this build world for a while. I don't see anything, right? I don't see what I want it to be or what's next. So that was the other guy. Oh, okay. Yeah. That was a great idea to merge the two. And I don't know. Jesus, excuse me. I don't know about keeping the 6 railguns. I do like. So, all right. So my thinking was this would become my personal driver. The server that I've been playing on, I'm really far away from my faction mates, and the reason that I'm really far away is because I'm a newcomer to that server, and they were very generous to invite me to play, and graciously allowed me to join their faction, which I thought was really awesome. And so I jumped in and I was like, all right, cool. They had some big ships here and there, and they're like, go nuts, do what you want. I was like, okay. So I asked them basically I want to be a good neighbor, right? And not like use all their resources trying to build something. So I was like, how does the faction look on resources? Like, I don't want to start something and then run us dry. And now, I don't know about most people, but for me, like, as long as you have a little bit of stuff, you can adjust really easily. But as soon as you run out, like say of iron, it's such a pain, especially if you don't have a mining craft built, because then you're like, yeah, it's just a mess, right? I didn't want to put the faction in that situation, because I didn't see a lot of mining vehicles around. They had one ship that had some drills on the front. It was a massive ship, and it looked really awkward the few times I saw them using it, and they were just drilling stone. So it was like stone doesn't yield a whole lot of iron, you know. So anyway, I guess the short version is I didn't want to run them dry and create problems. So I don't want to be the new guy that does that. So with that in mind, I started building because they were like, no, we have plenty of resources, you're good. And then I started building, and after that session, most of them had left, like weren't on the server anymore, or they weren't in the game. They'd left me, as people do. Words are failing me. So not that they left the server, just like, you know, people log out, go do their thing, come back later. So anyways, I was playing alone on the server with all the faction stuff, and I went to build what I thought was a rather modest ship. There was something about the size. Actually, it was yeah, it was about the size. I don't even remember what it was called. Oh, oh, okay. Uh, oh my goodness, what's going on? So laggy. Oh, okay. Fine. Anyway, yeah, Railgun Madness. Yeah, it is. So, I don't remember what the ship was called. Like this. No, let's do Era. All right, it wasn't this ship, but it was about this size. It was similar. It was about the size. I started building it and compared. This is about a quarter of the ships that they had. This is for me a large ship, but for them it's not a large ship at all. I started building it. They had build and repair on the server, so things started welding, and then everything stopped. And I went to check out the inventory. There's no iron. There's no cobalt. There's no silicon. There was no resources, and I was like, oh shit. The one thing I didn't want to do, I just did. So I ground it all down to get it back in their cargo so that they had something to work with. Um, and I respawned thinking, I'll get gravel spawn ship, and I'll just build up, you know, some industry on my own. And I think the server settings, like by default, are like
Fuel critical.
you're supposed to spawn within like pretty close, like within like 20 kilometers of your faction mates. And so I respawned, I was thousands of kilometers away. So I thought, all right, I guess I messed it up. So I tried again. So I tried like 4 more times. Every time it just randomly put me in the world. So I was like, fuck it, I'll just build up my industry, establish a base, and then, you know, now we have a long range outpost or whatever. So that is why I'm so far away from them. So I was thinking, like, for like a daily driver, if I wanted to jump over to where they are, you know, this might be a nice ship for that. And then if I'm over there visiting and bad guys show up, you know, NPCs, and we decide, hey, let's have a little fun, let's go get in a fight or something, it would be nice if it could pull its weight as well, or at least they won't be able to take as much damage as the behemoths that they've got, but at least, you know, they might be able to dish it out or be a helpful little sniper. So anyway, so I think the aft thrusters here work well. I don't know about the little ones on top. I just kind of put things down to see what grabs me. Because this is vertically basic for the most part, vertically symmetrical. uh, even though the actual ship, the way it's built, is like this from the original ship it came from. But it's basically symmetrical. I found a good spot, what I thought was a good spot, for some defensive turrets, which they don't do much good by themselves, but you can have a bunch. I think 6 counts. It's in the realm of a bunch, even if it's not a whole bunch. They can start to be useful against missiles and stuff. Yes, hydrogen helps a ton with maneuvering, which is it's so interesting to learn the design philosophies of different people, right? Because one thing I learned when I jumped on and started, you just kind of started, you tour around and you share builds and stuff, is they're really ion focused. The one guy really hates hydrogen, and the rest just kind of, it's not really their thing. And I can see, I get why. I think I went through that phase as well, where I was like, it's a little bit off-putting to think I have to gas up, I have to collect ice and then turn it into gas and top off my tanks and conveyor everything. And especially if you're playing in space, if you start in space, you don't really need them, right? You have, even in a space start, you start with ion engines. So, but I usually play on planets. So mostly I play with atmospheric thrusters, and then if I need to go to space for some reason, I've got to use hydrogen. So most of my games, it's either atmospheric or hydrogen. Not deliberate, just the way it worked out. So it's kind of funny because they were like, "Oh, you like hydrogen engines?" I'm like, I mean, they all have their niche, And I think that it's one of the. I'm not sure how to put it without sounding wrong, but so I will say this instead, is one of the reasons I like playing with different people and joining different servers and groups and all that is you cross-pollinate your ideas, in your design strategies and your just everything, So just jumping on and playing with them, I was like, okay, they like to build really big. It's not something I do, so let me tinker with it, They're predominantly ion. I haven't been predominantly ion since I first started playing. So I'll tinker with that, And at the same time, they're looking at my stuff and they're like, "Oh man, you use a lot of hydrogens, And then, one person even said, they're like, "Well, they do have a lot of power." And so it's just neat to see how things evolve, just in that socialization. There's always an ice asteroid within 100 kilometers. Really? I didn't know that. That's very interesting. Huh. So I've just been flying around, not doing anything, because I've been sort of trying to take it all in as far as the existing design and maybe how I want to go with it and what shapes I want to see. And I'm just not really getting anything. For example, I think this ship would look good.
Fuel critical.
Some sort of tower, right? The problem is there's not a whole lot of room to build a tower. Especially if I want to be inside it, which is the idea. So if I did like this, the red stuff starts to blend in, and it doesn't really work. But I think this whole, it gives me kind of sports car vibes, which is why I had originally gone with this down here, because I was sort of thinking it's sort of, it just feels sort of like a sports car, big heavy sports car. I thought, well, maybe having just a small bridge piece up here would, you know, that would. There we go. It might be okay. I think maybe it should come forward. The slimmer, the better for dodging. Yeah, that's true. Now I have found, and I don't have a lot of experience with it, but I have found here we have this guy. Dude. All right, so we have this guy, and then what was the other one? There was something else I was using relatively recently, and I was fighting in it. I don't think I had streamed. I don't think it was like live or anything. This one I did a fair amount of fighting in the end of my previous series, and then since then just messed around. I've used it, and I find that for this ship, so it has a lot. I mean, it's like a lot forward thrust, and I find that at the range I like to stay at, which is right around the engagement range of the assault turrets, if the other ship starts firing artillery, I can usually avoid it, right? If I get kind of sideways to it, hit full thrust, start pulling up, they'll usually shoot like right underneath me. So in my mind, like the forward, lots of forward thrust, and this is about as thick as I'll want to get in general. So, and to me, I would call this slim, like you said.
Fuel critical.
And then there was another ship I was using. I don't remember where, when, or I don't remember what it looked like, what color it was. I would not have said it was necessarily slow, but I think it was a more ion power. And I tried the same sort of maneuvers. And I kept getting hit. So I was thinking I don't have either enough pitch or enough forward to basically change the direction of movement fast enough to avoid where the bullets are coming. Do I have issues with the turrets blowing each other out on the white ship there? Not really, which is I guess the same as saying only a little bit. There's only 3 per side. Yeah, there's only 3 per side. So as long as I'm at maybe at least a 30-degree angle from, instead of being nose on, as long as I'm about 30 degrees off, they'll have a good enough angle to shoot each other. And they're not, I don't think they are. Yeah, they have an extra space between them, a buffer, because of just that problem. When you put them really adjacent to each other, of course, they tend to shoot each other more often, which I discovered with another ship when I was experimenting. Good grief. When I was experimenting with gun spam, I was like, all right, well, it seems like a strategy. Let's see if it works. And I found that the turrets shot each other a lot. Um, I don't remember what it was called. Let's see. I think it was hydrogen ion jump 2. Maybe it didn't have ions. Jump 2. There it is. Yeah. So like this one. Yeah. So these are all as close as possible. So I was like, oh well, if Gunspan seems like a obvious strategy, let's try it. And these turrets shoot each other all the time, all the damn time. They don't seem to hurt each other. I think I tend to play with it defaults to off. It's some setting that basically you can't shoot yourself, I guess. Hurt yourself. You can with the rockets, but not with the guns. So that's not a big deal. Most games I've ever seen or servers I've been on use that configuration. So, but I give it a try. I don't think the ship works very well. It's kind of a big slow tub, and the guns shoot each other. So. I like this one a lot better. It's a lot more maneuverable. It has a sniping, the turreted gun, and then 2 on the bottom for sniping. This one just fits the way I think about fighting really well. So, but I think about that, Robert, like you asked about the turrets hitting each other. I think about that when I see other people's designs and I see guns really close to each other, and I'm like, I don't know how well it's gonna work for you, but people fight different too. So like I've seen a lot of people who build big battleship-sized things that like to fight like they're fighter pilots, where you nose to the enemy and come in full power, shoot, and maybe different designs will work for different. I don't want to say philosophies because it's not really that deep, but like the way people fight, the differences in the way people fight mean that different designs will work better for some people than others. So I don't think I would do well with a ship, and in my experimentation, it seems to be bore up by the evidence that having turrets really close so they can hit each other doesn't work well for me. So let's try this. Let's see here. That is not even a chair. The chair? And that one, oh, I think there's a slopey guy that fits here, I believe. Right? Wait. It's really laggy. I'm not sure why.
Fuel critical.
There we go. I just made some adjustments to my computer because it gets so freaking hot. Which of course sucks. But the computer is barely a year old, And after about the first day I had it, it started getting insanely hot. And it's supposed to have this really super awesome cooling system in it. And I don't buy it because it gets too hot to touch sometimes. And I don't like that because I know that can damage the electronics. Let's find some slope windows. Let's do that guy. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. I don't want windows the whole way. So in other designs, I've used this design where you come up a ladder. There's like an airlock to get into the cockpit or whatever. Oh, right. So my computer, I don't know why it's lagging right now, pretty bad. I did just change the power settings to turn the cooling system on like more often. I said, I guess the default configuration was something like try to keep the GPU below 97 degrees and the CPU below 87 or something, and I just put them both to minimum. Fan is loud as shit now. And then at the same time, while I was doing that, the NVIDIA garbageware that came on the thing was like, hey, our garbageware drivers have an update, so you should update. So I updated that. So who knows? Maybe it's all related. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Oh, there's someone's been in and out, in and out. Yeah. Can't stay away. They can't stand it when they're here. So you captured a Factorum warship. I, other than the builds people have put on the workshop, where they're like, oh, this is the style of the Factorum, you know. I don't think I've seen any of the Factorum ships. I know they're kind of like white and black. Actually, from what I've seen, this is almost Factorum style, or at least the color scheme is. I know the Factorum also have like gold bits. Yeah, I've not seen any of the warships yet, but I have seen ships that use the stair step design for managing the turrets, like you. That ship I just used, that I just had in here a few minutes ago. It used the stair step a little bit. Oh my god, it's too fucking. I don't know, HJ2. It had a little bit of stair step going on. You can see in the front here. But I know, like most people, the way they use it, the step goes like this would be the front. So it's, you know, it would go here, you know, like up. So all your guns can fire forward. And that goes to the what I was talking about earlier with like some people design so they can play like almost like a fighter pilot and just head straight towards the target. Personally, I have found for the way, for all the factors that make me, right? My reaction, the way I think, whatever. Like, I find that charging directly at the enemy is a great way to get shot a whole lot. So I tend to build more like battleship philosophy. So my intent is more of a broadside you know, which is why this stair step is here, so that from the side they all have a theoretically an angle, because my enemy is going to be over there. Because I also find that when I want to evade, having my ship sideways so I can pitch up or pitch down and use the main thrusters to push me, that works really well for me. Well, that works better than anything else for me. Sometimes it works well, sometimes poorly. But I've seen some big ships, like you said. Yeah, all white and gray. Yeah, they stole my aesthetic.
Fuel critical.
All right now, this ship has. I don't. I would. I think it would be great to have some extra little thrusters, but I don't really like. So I think right now this thing has 2 large hydrogen tanks, which isn't bad. As a general rule of thumb, I usually like to have 1 large hydrogen tank per large thruster. And that generally works out with a good amount of fuel to do stuff without being like ridiculously low or ridiculously like high as far as endurance goes. Jesus. Four. So there we go. So this was that's not what I want. There we go. So this was kind of my main ship for the majority of the series when I was retrofitting the green base. And it was just meant to be a utility ship, not a combat ship. So it had jump drives, sort of on a budget most of the time for certain things. So, like I didn't have platinum for most of the game. So I went hydrogen. Plus they're powerful. So I had 1 large tank per large thruster, and then the little thrusters I didn't worry about. A couple of jump drives, 2 large cargo, and this is what I used to for most of my mining operations, as well as like salvaging. I could put like a utility vehicle on the back. And then, should I really need it, a bunch of guns. I forget why I loaded this. It wasn't literally just to talk about it. So this one I used. That stairwell actually leads outside. It goes to corridor there. Exits out the back. Got a ladder that goes straight down to the living area. Hmm. All right. Maybe I was thinking of these. Light or heavy? Oh, okay. So this one also has an exit out the back. Addition. There's nothing else running on this computer right now. I don't understand. I guess I messed up the setting.
Fuel critical.
So there's one space here, which this doesn't really need to be here. But I don't like cramped bridges and cockpits either. Jesus, this is awful. On a server. Yeah. Yeah. The flatbed in the back has plenty of spots for mag plates. Yeah. Yeah, I played a lot. I really like that ship. I played a lot out of it. Like the as an actual ship and I don't want to say a base. But I find like a lot of ships for me, they get built and they're kind of let me think about what I'm trying to say here. I think there's a certain type of ship, especially utility ships, that um, you only have a need for that utility, like for a little bit. Um, like you can build a mining ship, and it can be a great mining ship, and you use the crap out of it for a little bit, and then you just don't need it anymore. You know, and you might need like 10, 20 hours later, you might need to use it again. That's sort of what it seems like. And for things like, oh, I built this ship to salvage things, you know, or whatever. I felt like, I feel like a lot of times, after the initial like use that I built it for, I ended up kind of not needing it again. So I like. I do the same thing. I grind everything down. Yeah, yeah. But I like that ship. It was really versatile. I used it for prospecting asteroids. I used it to haul mining craft to asteroids to mine stuff, and then it had large cargo, like several large cargo to haul back plenty. And then I used it for hauling sniper craft out to ensure that floating hulks were in fact floating hulks. And then I would either haul the Hulk back, or I remember I had a grinder vehicle, but I had options, you know, to either drag it back to base or just disassemble it there. I know in one case I just ground down the important stuff by hand, but it was versatile, and I actually used it for a lot of those use cases, which was nice. I don't often get to do that. I'm not sure why. Just the nature of the game, I suppose. It's a bit simple, but I think gosh, it'll work. And something I'm also trying to keep in mind is where am I going to put little things like, or am I even going to have like O2H2 generators? You know, there's a good spot right here for 4, right there. Put 2 there and 2 there. I think I might do that. Okay, laying some blocks down. Sweet. Yeah, I don't know about, like, I like the idea of of a big window in front. Not for a bridge, but just if I can stand here, see where we're going. It's not really the best view though. Like looking at the ass end of guns, I guess. I don't know. Hmm. Yeah, I just don't know about this. Like I don't even know if I like the front being there or if it needs to go back some. I guess overall, looking at the bridge, ship itself, I guess it's all right. It does leave me plenty of room in here.
Fuel critical.
I don't know why this ship's being so hard. This is why it's taken so long. I've done so little to it. I've been I've been online for how long now? I'm gonna leave it. All right, so this was a box. So I built a base on an asteroid, and I thought, started getting attacked more and more. So I thought, all right, like by NPCs, major. I thought maybe I should expand inside the asteroid and build a hangar. Is this just exploitation with some defense and logistics abilities? I'm not sure what you mean. What do you mean by? I mean, you're obviously kidding about something, but I'm not sure what you're referring to. You mean this is salvaging ships just exploiting, or tell me what you mean by that. Oh, exploration. That makes a lot more sense. Oh, you mean the red ship? Yes. Yeah, it's just like a daily driver. Basically, if I go to visit someone like my faction mates on the server, it's pretty far away from where my base is established. So yeah, the red ship, its main purpose is just it's basically a daily driver to use to get around, and then I would like it. I hate to say it's an everything ship because it's not, but it's a versatile ship. So it's a little bit. It's not supposed to be good at everything, but it has a little bit of room for cargo in case I need to bring like I don't have any platinum, and they've got a bunch that they give me, or or they need something like they need pilot, whatever. So it's got a little bit of cargo. It's got some jump capacity, so I can keep up. Because a lot of their stuff is huge, but also they have like 20 and 30 jump drives. Enough power to move around in a battle. Um, their ships aren't really going to be moving around a lot. They're boxers, they're slugfest type things. And then I like the idea of a hard hitting punch, long range, so I can be more of like a sniper to support, everything that's going on. I like the idea of being able to move around a lot. So. But it's not intended to be like the king of the battlefield or anything like that. It's just, something to move around with. All right, let's see. Now, I did recently build a small warship. I don't remember what it's called. So the purpose was to deal with NPC ships. To deal with most smaller NPC ships with an overwhelming amount of firepower. Because, so I mentioned, so the other week I rebuilt a space pod that I had done a playthrough with to be like a coastal patrol craft to defend against these like 1s and 2 little drones that the game was sending at me. And as I continued to build on the server, even with the addition of those shit, I think it's self-defeating, right? Because I built stuff to respond to the drones, so I have more stuff. So the game says send more drones. So there were a couple of not so tiny drones that showed up, and I felt that it would be nice to have something to go out and just really blow them up good, So I don't remember what I called it though. I believe it had 2 jump drives. Yeah, there it is. Oh, the Panther. Here we go. Get some space over here. So I've been meaning also to load this up to see. I keep feeling like I've forgotten something with this.
Fuel critical.
Yeah, so I'm gonna load it up and have a look. So I did do the kind of gun spam, but again I left room between the turrets to keep them from shooting each other. And I don't think I was too excessive about it, so. Go inside and PDC ammo. So I have so before the broadcast controller came out, I used to use beacons to send messages. Not send messages, but to display messages on screen. So, especially for remote systems. So for example, I have 2 beacons. One that says on patrol, and the other that says engaging hostile. And so I would use things. Like I used actually I guess it wasn't before the broadcast controller came out, because I think those were introduced with the AI blocks. But it was definitely before I really appreciated how to use them. So I was using like the defense controllers No, no, no. It was the custom turret controller. That was before the AI block, I think. Well, whatever. The custom turret controller is one of the first blocks from that whole like genre of like highly functional blocks that I really latched onto and figured out and started using. So I would use those to trigger different, to turn on and off like different functions. So I would use these, especially on remote turrets that I could put on the outskirts of a base. And then if they started shooting at something, their beacon would pop on. And then I could see anywhere from the base within range of the beacon. I could see, oh, this one's shooting at something. And I didn't have to rely on hearing the gunfire or seeing like a flashing light or something. It just pop up on my HUD. Um, I forget why I thought that was important to talk about. Oh, I saw that. Two. All right, we'll do that for practice. That is, yeah, that'll work. AI blocks all on. Light. Behavior on. Defense behavior on. Basic behavior on. I just set home. I literally just clicked it. Oops. AI. There we go. All right. We can move. We do have collision avoidance on. Okay, good. Oh yeah, the red ship. It does. Right now there are two jump drives in there. So, yeah, that small tactical 5 kilometer jump. That's huge, just for moving around. Um, I don't know if they'll stay. I'd like them to stay. Um, there's just so much of that design that's just up in the air because I'm kind of I'm just kind of stuck. Things just aren't clicking. I'm not sure why. I think it might be just lack of practice. I don't normally take like other ships and then smush them together and try to create a new ship out of them. I have refit a number of the original vanilla ships, but even then, I'm not creating a new interior space. I'm working with what's there. I might change it a little bit, but um, I think the closest I felt to the same sort of like lack of direction is when I was trying to refit the I don't know what it's called. I don't remember what it's called. I showed it off in a few streams ago. It's a space station. I said it kind of reminded me of like an aircraft carrier. It's one of the vanilla space stations from Economy, and the vanilla one has two landing bays on the side. and I had modified it, I basically extended it out so it had 3 landing bays, um, and then there's like on a aircraft carrier, there's like on the side, there's decks that go up, right, where they drive the ship and everything, manage the aircraft. So this space station had a similar feature, and a little bit on the bottom had something similar. So I had added a bunch of ion thrusters there. In that build, I ended up redoing the entire interior, and I sort of felt the same way because I was like, I don't know why. Well, because it was so different. Because the original interior is not very well designed, so it's not like you're working with anything. It's kind of from scratch, you know. Are we there? Are we in range? Sort of. And so I feel the same way with this guy.
Fuel critical.
I'll just let him fly around here. Let me out. Let me out. What? Yeah, I don't know why. The fans are running. Anyway, I think I called, was it JSS? No, it's not. Space SS for space station. Space station. What? Oh, yeah, that was it. And for some reason, I have 2 variations, and I could never decide which one was the one I wanted to continuing. Which one was the one I wanted to continue to develop? Anyway. So this was originally an economy space station. And it had the 2 landing pads. And I just thought it looked really, really cool. So I extended out a 3rd one. The idea was sort of like a mobile base ship. But I don't know. I just kind of felt like, oh yeah, and the idea was get somewhere, convert the station, throw up your safe zone, and boom, mobile base. I guess part of the challenge was there was never really much reason to be inside it. I don't know. Like, it's got a bunch of jump drives because it's going to be heavy, and I wanted it to have pretty good range, like very good range. But when I was refitting it, I was just kind of at a loss for how to handle it. I think vertical ships are kind of weird as well. The game is not really designed to accommodate vertical ships very well. I lost my spaceship. Gone. I should have left one of the beacons on. Here. Well, there it is. Hmm. There was some automation or something. Okay, we have reactors. They're all tagged with special oxygen and hydrogen tanks. They're in a group. I have some of them tagged with refill and stockpile. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think rebuilding the vanilla ships is a great exercise. Um, and yeah, it is. It's kind of like a museum. I never built it like in the same. Like I didn't do it in survival or anything like that. It was all just creative building. But yeah, it does teach you a lot about building. I've learned a lot of like little tricks from taking them apart about like how you can like I really like I've said before, I really admire how Aragath builds. He's able to use negative space really well. So that instead of like a plain wall, you might have like a wall with a break in it. There's a diagonal, right? And then there's something behind it. It looks really good. Um, and I learned some of those techniques from taking apart the stuff that he's, the vanilla stuff. What's going on? What's going on? All right. Anyway, so I designed this. I built this on the server, and the idea was the assault cannon. They hit hard and they shoot. Their bullet speed is high. So, and then use a bunch of the things that hit hard and have high bullet speed, and you can dispense with most drones and small NPC ships almost immediately. That's the intent. And then as soon as I finished building, I was like, oh, I forgot this. I forgot that. I need. Which is why I believe like firmly in if I build something, I always want to use it in a game. Like if I like build it in creative, like I always want to build it in a survival game and then use it in the survival game because that's when you discover things like oh, there's no lights on my rover because I built it during the day on Pertam or whatever. Let's see, maybe it was, you know what, I'm gonna need to step away just a second. I'll be right back.
빛나는 별 같아 속삭여줘 내게 말해줘 You're my superstar 춤추는 빗슬같이 펄럭이는 내 맘 이 순간 우리 둘만 feel the rhythm strike Shine bright like the stars Dance like no one else 너와 나의 세상 속에서 우린 절대 멈출 수 없어 Let's play
랩해줘 girl let's go 빛나는 꿈은 점은 현실로 alright 모든 게 완벽해 got the swag 이 순간을 즐겨 let's brag 랩해줘 girl let's go 빛나는 꿈은 현실로 세상에 소리쳐 we rise 오늘 밤 모두 반짝일 반 랩해줘 girl let's go 빛나는 꿈은 현실로 세상에 소리쳐 we rise 오늘 밤 모두 반짝일 반 랩해줘 girl let's go 빛나는 꿈은 현실로 세상에 소리쳐 we rise 오늘 밤 모두 반짝일 반
All right, I'm back. All right, let's do the sound check. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's fine. Okay. So, all right. Let's see. Batteries, reactors, thrusters, gyros on, thrusters and gyros off, and docking. Okay. Then we have booster, toggle on and off, and tank stockpile on and off. And I don't see any landing lights or docking lights. It would be good if it had some. But I'm not sure. Let's see if I can
Fuel
fit.
critical.
Did I hurt anything? I did. Oh. Right, so right, okay. All right, well, I guess we can have a document. Light. Light. Get. King. Let's see, we'll make this. Boom. 5. 2. Max offset. There we go. Not in the terminal. Not on right now. Okay. All right, that's one tiny little thing. That's all that's left, though. It's all tiny little things. Yeah. Let's do that. All right, so after you disconnect, you'll want to turn your docking light on and off. Okay. So now here we've got all thrusters on, and then 2 is reverse thrusters off. Right. Boosters toggle. That's fine. So the way I do that is in the first position, it's not a toggle, it just turns everything on. Because in a pinch, I want a button that I can push that I know will guarantee everything turns on, usually for like handling like an accident or avoiding an accident. So if I've got like my reverse thrusters off because I'm trying to conserve power or I'm coasting somewhere or whatever. So that first position on hotbar 2 is what that's for. And then the subsequent positions are for shutting off various directions. These days I really only use backwards, but that's the way I've been doing it for 8,000 hours now. So, all right, man, Robert. Take care. Drive carefully. Good luck with that traffic. I can't imagine driving a rig through Dallas. That sounds awful. So anyway, I'll catch you next time, man. Thanks for hanging out. Then I've got the booster toggle. Um, I don't always have those on anyway, so I've tried it with like it's just a shut off, and then that first position turns them all on, like I just said. But I do find with having a hybrid where you've got like it's an ion powered ship, but there are like hydrogen boosters for extra speed. I've messed around with the combinations, and I like just treating the boosters just like a separate system altogether. So, and usually like I don't think I've really ever been in a situation where I needed everything on to avoid running into something that I was going backwards toward. So, all right. Oh shit, I forgot that was there. All right, so then a camera for surveillance. I got my manual toggles for the beacons, antenna, broadcast controller. So what I was thinking here is I'd populate it with various like random little taunts, and I could send them off at random whenever we go into battle. Because why not? All right, then all turrets on off and cycle the weapons. And I don't have a lot of times for most ships that don't have lots of weapons, I will put controls to manually control each individual gun. But this is 14 turrets, so I'm not gonna do that. Was it jump drives? Oh, I bet it was, no, there's jump drives there. Got on and off, charging on and off, and then each one jump. Okay. And I've messed around with putting on and off and versus charging on and off on the hotbar. And the reason I do both is it seems like the NPCs and even like the turrets, the automatic targeting where you cycle your targeting systems. If like I think they count as batteries or as power systems. I think if they're turned off, they aren't targeted. So, if I'm using it like as a defensive drone or something, I can turn them off. It's not going to be jumping on its own, and it'll keep the drones from targeting those expensive elements. They can shoot other stuff. That's why I've been doing that lately, and that's been working out pretty well. Okay. So I added, right, I've got timers to set up configurations for automated patrolling, automated engagement. So these are also the timers. This is basically manually triggering the timers that the AI blocks use. And then this actually turns all the AI stuff off. Hit this and you're ready to fly the ship manual. Startup. Ironically, it needs power, but a lot of times, if I have something docked, it's got power even though all its stuff is shut down. So I've got startup that brings everything online, and then these two are shutting down. This opens all the doors and then shuts everything down. So again, if I shut everything down, that includes killing all the power, and you can't open the doors. So, and you can't put this in there. It just doesn't. The timing just doesn't work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What am I missing? Start up and shut down. Oh, airlocks. Oh, it's got automated airlocks. Okay. What? drives. Alright, so when we engage, all AI blocks are turned on. Movement behavior is turned on. Offensive behavior is turned on, which also turns off the defensive behavior. And overrides the patrol behavior. Okay. The reactors are turned on. We hit on for all thrusters and gyros, and that's because sometimes I'll leave a ship with what I call taxi thrust or taxi power. So basically it's got one thruster in each direction is on and everything else is off. One gyro is on, everything else is off. The low power keeps it slow. It's on patrol. It just needs to be out there and moving around. So how fast it goes doesn't matter. So this makes sure it powers everything on. All the weapons come on, and all the weapons are set to target powered systems. And then because this is for engaging, turn on the engaging hostile beacon, turn off the patrol. So this would be where I could send a message from the broadcast controller instead of using the beacons. But it's 6 1 half dozen other. I don't like to have the HUD on. Actually, I guess both are hidden, aren't they? Yeah, it just doesn't matter. It's you either see a beacon or you see a chat message. The one advantage I do like about the beacon is that once it's on, it stays on your HUD. So if you don't catch it when it pops on, you can still catch it. Whereas a chat message, it'll pop up in the chat. If you don't notice it, the chat will eventually fade away. It's pretty quick, it just goes away. If you think to go look in your chat log, you'll see it. I don't know who does that, you know. There is that. The disadvantage of course, is that no, never mind. Take it back. Yeah, because you have to be within antenna range to pick those up. I guess that's the disadvantage. Is you have to have an antenna on and be within range. I wasn't going to turn this on, the repair projector, because even though the base where I expect this to operate has repair facilities or build and repair or whatever, if it's engaging something, chances are it's moving out of range of those things. Oh, maybe I need to. If you're engaging, let's turn this on. So this event controller monitors for contact lost. So we'll turn that on. Okay. What do? You turn on the patrol trigger. Okay. Or you trigger the patrol timer. Okay. Alright, so that's what the event controller does. Which this turns on. The patrol timer activates. All block behaviors are turned off, and then we're going to selectively turn on the ones we want. So all the behaviors go off, all the blocks go on, movement on, patrol on, defense on. Okay, reactors are off, low power. Boosters are off. Weapons are off. Targeting stays the same. Switch the beacons. Antenna is off, and at this point, can also turn off this. Hmm. Batteries, doors. Oh. Here we go. We should put on engage. We should turn these on. And then on control. Turn them off. Yeah. And manual. All AI blocks turned off. All behaviors are turned off. All thrusters and gyros are on. Both beacons are off. That's that. Yeah. Turrets are idle. Rockets small. No large. Yes characters. Yes enemies. PVC ammo at 2%. Let's see. Are these... And no, or if any of them go below 2%, and they hold so damn much. Cargo filled less than 2%, yeah. Action, VC ammo light, that color. So this one goes, I think, orange, and then probably blue white. And then here we set blink interval. So blink and don't blink, and then that's it. And that's the light right there, right behind the turrets in the center. Okay. Okay. All right, those are the 3 timers there. Shutdown, startup. I don't remember thinking those are missing anything. Startup, batteries on, recharge off, stockpile off, push and gyros on, doors closed, main turrets on. Maybe we should add PDC turrets on. The broadcast controller off. I don't know why we turn that off. Okay. That's startup. Let's turn this on as well, just in case. Group. Okay, I don't want to turn the boosters on because in most cases when I turn it on, it's going to be docked somewhere or in close proximity to something. So it's heavy enough that even with full ion power, it's still at what I would call like taxi thrust, taxi power. so it's fine. So when we shut down, start up, shut down, no manual, engage. Oh, there was something. There was something. Oh, we did all that. Let's go back to. All right, so shut down. All AI blocks off. All behaviors off. Pushes and gyros off. Thanks. Stockpile. Main guns off. PDCs off. Antenna, both beacons off. Forecast controller off. Reactors off. Hard drives on. Recharge on. Battery recharge on. Is there, so that does everything. So I could hit that and then toggle the connector to connect it, and everything will pop off. Oh, goodness. Well, I can't find it, but I built it and was sort of just tinkering with it. And I was like, oh, I need to remember to do this. I need to remember to do that. And none of that's coming back to me. So if I go here, number 3 is manual. If I toggle that, it's, yeah, the ship's now mine. Okay, great. Stop. All right, well, I did make a couple changes, so I guess I'll go ahead and update the blueprint with that. Oh, repair projector. Maybe that was it. Blue, blue, blue. Those are probably,
Fuel critical.
yeah, those 4 lights. And they are probably in a group already. So, okay. So the repair projector is actually directly underneath that block. I'm gonna have to wait till the server's back up, jump on again, and see. Let's copy it. And enter. Place. All right, so there's that, and then I think this had something too. Phone taxi power. Come here. There it is. So this is well, I designed this a while ago, and then I found the perfect use for it on the asteroid, defending a large hangar. And I was able to bring in power from below it, so all that stuff there went away. And because it's in space, it didn't need that. I could just put a T in there, and then a elbow. Here. Da, 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 da. That would be what lights? Is it that light on top of the gun? Power monitor. It is. Oh, okay. So it's telling you when the gun is charged. Oh, okay. All right. I think when I built this on the server, I forgot that part.
Critical.
Server doesn't have the plugin for the multi-grid projector. It's got, I don't know if it's like a thing that the multi-grid projector plugin does when it's not on the server, or if they have something different, but I keep getting this pop-up that says like, hey, they don't have multi-grid projector, so here's a sort of halfway thing where it shows the whole projection, but it doesn't build it all. You still have to go and you have to do it by hand, but at least the whole projection is there, like all the subgrids as well. So that's helpful. But it also means things like your connections, your hotbars, all your configuration. None of that's there. So it's, whoops. Ah, fuck. That's not what I expected it to do. All right. Let's look at this. All right. Now, I like this thing. Here's the light. I'm not sure why. I think I think it's funny because it looks like an alligator, which is by design. Um, and it will fly in gravity. Also by design. It's got teeth. By design. What do we have here? These are elbows. Okay. We make those a T. Get a little bit more forward thrust, but it's got plenty of forward thrust on it. So. Well, I thought I could do something with this, but I'm not. Hmm. I'm not feeling that. Maybe what I should do. Oh, spaceships. Forgot about these. Or this. Thought there was more. Oh, that might be a different save, a different build save. All right. Anyway, oh, we in a sandstorm right now? No, I think we're just at dusk. All right. Cool. Let's see how well this works. I'm not sure with the game stuttering. Not sure what to expect. Yeah, I feel the lag. Ah, sucks. Hmm. Yeah, this is not playable. Computer's still getting hot. Yeah. Supposed to have this advanced cooling system in it. Load of rubbish. This is awful. Oh God. I can't play like this. This is insane. I can build like this. I can't. This is not. Oh man, I forgot this stuff was out here. Yeah, this is just. I wonder if it's because I'm on a planet. Ah, neat. I mean, it wouldn't be. It's not acceptable since I often play on planets. But for now, maybe that's making things worse, and getting into space would be helpful. Does seem a little better. Okay. All right. So I'm starting to realize I'm starting to appreciate better the utility of the AI blocks when they work. I'm thinking, and up until now, I haven't really, because, well, on the one hand, because they're not reliable, but on the other hand, because I wasn't really very comfortable using them, I didn't tend to install them or leave space on things that I built. I didn't have a good idea of what I needed. And now I'm starting to realize I think I have a better idea of what I need. And I think in general what I need is this. So you need one move block. Now before, if you wanted to move at different speeds, say slow for landing and then fast for like patrol or fighting, you needed multiple move blocks. But Keen, in their latest update, they added the ability to set the movement speed of the block. So you only need one of these now, which is great. One defense block, if you want to be able to react to defensively, as in like to flee when something gets close or you take damage or whatever. And then also, if you have custom turrets or fixed guns, especially for small grade, the defensive block will extend the range of those too, because the range is associated with the projectile and also with the gun, and you get whichever's shorter. So, for example, an assault turret, like a large grid assault turret, you can only set it to 800 meters, right? The gun has a limit of 800 meters. The ammo will go 1.4 kilometers. So if you put a defensive block on there, now that turret can shoot 1.4 kilometers. Yeah, and it's like that for all the weapons. So, and then if you wanted to fight with fixed guns, you need an offensive block. And then I think that's really, yeah. If you want to fight with fixed guns and you want it to kind of use some sort of like evasive maneuvers, I know the defense block has an evasive maneuver toggle. I don't know what that does. I have no idea if that works. But the offense block has options for how to fight. So like it can always try to stay a certain range. It can try and circle at a certain range. It can try and ram target. So if it's any kind of combat craft, generally you'll want that. And I guess the short version is it comes down to you want just about one of everything. Now the task This is used for following stuff, following the player, following other grids, following a home beacon, and this is what lets it
Fuel critical.
control, because there's a toggle that says once you're within whatever range you specify of your target objective, just wander around. So this gives it like a random patrol, not like a patrol path. Then there's, okay, I'll skip that one for a second. In order to move, it needs a movement block. There's that. Now, if you want it to be able to dock, I think it's the recorder task. And I think for this one, you need two, because you need one for docking and one for taking off. And those will let you dock relative to like a beacon on a ship or whatever. So, but you do, pretty sure you do need one for each direction, take off and then landing. But basically, you need one of everything and two of those. It's pretty much it. And it seems like the only time like you wouldn't want any of these is the offensive block if it's more of like a defensive. Yep. I have defensive turrets, and all they have, like they have a defensive block only and nothing else, because they're just turrets, they don't move. Yeah. And then if you're not going to automate landing and taking off, you don't need these two. Oh, if you want to give it a specific patrol route, I think you need one of these or a remote control block. So that seems to be what's required. And I didn't know. Like originally I wasn't sure if you would need like multiples, like the movement block. Originally you needed multiples. I have no idea. Hey, Ben. Hey, Ben. What you doing? Huh? Say hi. Hello. All right. That. Oop. There we go. Okay. There's no kitty food in there. Damn it. We got that. And let's do. Oh, I was thinking atmospheric, but actually, let's make this. Let's make this space beast. Which means hydrogen. My God, those are huge, aren't they? Sure. Jesus, these things are huge. Ah. All right. Now let's see. Drones don't like vector thrust, so we can't use those. Oh, I did the thing. All right. Let's see.
Fuel critical.
Go bring this out. And the turrets are 5x5. Yeah, we're good. Let's put these. Put them forward. So okay, stop. All right, and we'll do. Let's see, we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 5. There we go. Oh, actually. I think this will be neat. Oh, damn. Damn it. Oh, this fucking lag is killing me. Go. Yeah. There we go. Oh, Jesus. And then here. Cool. Wow. All right. This way. That way. Got there. All right. Nope. All right. Cool. Let's see. So we can do 3. Guy. This one. So, yeah. I don't know, maybe? Sure. Oh, I don't. What about that? I don't know about that either. All right. What the? I know. I know. Okay, let's drop some plate over here. My drones always end up looking like bricks. I think they look like cool bricks, but they still look like bricks. Okay, this is how we're gonna supply fuel. Here, come there, in there. 1, 2, and 3. And oh, we can do straight through there. Okay, can do that without losing it. Yeah. Cool. 1, 2. 3. There we go. Here we go. We've got. I'll do a C. Here. There. And we need a T. All right, I guess we'll do this one. That one. That one. And then 2 of these. Oh my god. Here we go. So that guy. Then right there. All right, great. So that is all those guys. And I think I'm almost taking off the reverse thrusters in the back, pointing forward. Yeah, let's see. Righty. I guess we can do this. Okay. Oh, it'll be the same angle and the same height. That's not gonna look good. This at least spaces it out a little bit. Sure. So I was thinking I would have thruster in here facing forward, just leave that empty. but I don't know if I really like that idea. Try this. Okay. Hey, sweetie. Whoops. Ah, shit. I hate when I do that. There we go. Oop. Alrighty. Okay. Let me mess with you. Hey, kitty. He's about to become an angry kitty. Hello? Alrighty. How about something like this? 1, 2, 3, and we could do like here and then here. It's almost like a thing. I don't know. It's not what I was thinking. I think this is closer to what I was. So yeah, I was thinking of going straight across, but I think that's too much flatness, I guess. Only one spot. Could do like that. Let's throw some of this under there and clear out a little bit. But I think this is a good spot for like some timers and stuff. Let's see. 6. This whole general area. Sort of thinking of putting a thruster there pointing forward, so not. But I'm doing this on the bottom too, so okay. So we could do, for example, that is 4 timers. That is 8 timers. And then this, there's 4 event controllers, which that would be good, right? So you've got like all the reasons you'd want to return to base, right? So you've got like ammo low, damage, and power low, and fuel low. Actually, that's 4 right there. And then you probably want one that is like you're ready to go depart. But actually, I think you'd need ammo low, ammo filled. No, there's no way to get them to all to work together unless you did. Well, there is. funky way, but
Fuel critical.
so if you have, say you have four conditions to depart. Like say you want it to work so that when the ammo is full, the power is full, the hydrogen is full. I guess it's three, right? Because presumably, right, damages, whatever. They have three. So what you would do is you would have each one toggle a light, right? So when ammo is full, the light is on. When ammo is empty, the light is off, right? And that's all they do. Ammo does that. Hydrogen does that. Power does that. And then you have a fourth timer, or event controller, that simply monitors the three lights. And when all three are on, the ship is topped off and it's ready to go. And then actually you could use that one when, well, yeah, and then you could do the reverse. Yeah, you can do a lot of things. But anyway, so that would be the way to handle departing. I think for returning to base, any single of one of those conditions is enough, right? If your ammo is low, go back to base. If you're out of fuel, or you're low on fuel, go back to base. If you're low on power, go back to base. So you actually don't need to do all three together. But that's where timers come in handy, because you could have one timer that handles setting everything to go back to base, and then the three different event controllers could trigger that. So ammo, damage, power, and hydrogen. That's four cases to return to base. And then you would need ammo, power, and hydrogen need to be ready to depart. And then you need one that checks all three. So that's four to depart. So you would need 8. Okay. So let's put here. Boom. All right, so we should be able to handle all that now. We got 8 timers. That should be plenty for like return to base, depart, engage hostile, start patrol, startup, shut down. That's 6 right there, and it's still 2 extra. So I think that's good. Yes, I think that's good. I don't think I need any programmable blocks. Those usually just provide information to the player. Since it's a drone, it's not really any information we need. I do feel weird not including any though. Let's put 2 on, just in case. All right. Now we've got this. 2. Ah. Damn it. 3. All right, so we got that. Let's see. What about that? Sure. So part of what I'm doing is just kind of laying out the general idea of like where I want armor blocks or general shapes or whatever. And I'll go back, do a second pass and sort of clean things up. It does produce a sort of a pretty blocky look. But I'm okay with that. That's generally the aesthetic that I like anyway. So there we go. God, quit. There we go. There we go. Jesus. All right. And oh, bottom should be the same. Yes. Good. 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 Don't like these. I was thinking maybe these. Actually, I was originally thinking this. Just really like this shape here.
Fuel critical.
Looks like it's trying to be a TIE fighter. Don't really like. All right, this is a little. Well, it's different. I don't know if it's better. I don't think it's better. It's just different. I do have. We do have this. No. This. Other one. There we go. We got that. And I guess we could do that. At this point, they kind of all suck. All right. Let's see, maybe. How about this? That's all right. No good way to put an end on that, though. So this will fit. I don't think that's what I want, though. I don't think that's what I want. That'll fit. Actually, you know what? If I did that, that would open up this as an option. If I'm going to go that route, I could even go so far as to do this one. I think looks even better. Here. Here. No? Okay. There's a lot of steel in this thing. Okay. Sure. Let's do that. That's neat. Now, there's still no reverse thrust, and there are no gyros. Oh, that's curious. Okay. Whatever. I'll leave it. I'll leave it for now. It's not critical. None of it's critical. Okay. There are no gyros right now. So, good. Just drop them down here. These are half blocks. Four. Now we're top to bottom symmetry as well, so I would actually give it 8. That's not bad. right, did I did not symmetry. Oh, Jesus, I did. Oh, no, 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 I didn't. I didn't. Okay. So these are on the top, they're programmable blocks. On the bottom, they are. Yeah. Yeah. On the bottom, they're armor. On the top, they're programmable blocks. Okay. So, yeah, I could still. Because I think I'm out of the danger zone as far as. 1, 2, 3. Six. So I did this. I don't think those will hurt. You know what? I don't need to guess. There's definitely information out there somewhere that says what the damage radius, all that stuff is. Damage range, damage distance. I've never gone so far as to look it up. I think I've seen it once or twice. I've been like, yeah. We don't have it. We don't have a cross section. Is there? Nope. Even in the unreinforced, don't have it. All right, whatever. Put that straight. Then we'll do a C. Here. All right. Cool.
Fuel critical.
Okay, on the bottom. Yeah, it's just armor. All right, great. And then we'll just drop a plate on top here. Like that. All right. I think that's the general idea. Maybe what I can do is here. Oh, whoops. Do that, that, that. There you go. And here, 1 and 2. Got that. So we do have up front this basically an empty area. I think for now I will fill with armor. But I need to remember that. I feel like there are better things that could be done with that area than cool armor, you know. All right, let's try this. I think this looks good a lot of times, is putting these oh, not the shape I thought it was, but putting these beam blocks between armor like that. I think that looks good a lot. Often. That often looks good. Oh, okay. Of course, it looks better when you can put something behind it, but that is not going to be a good idea. That should be safe. I don't know that I like that though. How about something like this? Or originally I was gonna say this. All right. Okay, I like that because it matches the back, which is half full. Okay. Actually, I guess both the little ones match that, didn't they? Oh, whatever. I like this better. Simple as that. Oh, let's put beam blocks over here. There we go. Looks good. Back here. That, oh. Perfect. Beam block. And actually, there you go. Kill that. Beam block. And then boop. And there we go. How about that? Oh, no. What about that? Oh, maybe actually. What about now? How's that look now? Nope, 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 nope. That's still terrible. That one, there, there. All right. We'll ignore it for now. How about maybe that's with these? Oh. Like so? Ooh, no, no. Well, what about we use the same things again? Over here. And that's not bad. Is it? Yeah, it is. It's always this. That's always nice. Yeah. That look. There you go. Yep, that is a box. I wonder. Can we do something interesting? For example.
Fuel critical.
For example, can I put something cool like this? I like the use of the various styles of fairing that I've seen people come up with. This would work. Oh, I do like that. Yeah. All right. Well, the first one I've done. First thing I've done on this craft that I'm really genuinely happy with. Like that. Yeah. Put that there. There we go. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Oh, I'm happy with that. I feel it made a big difference for me. All right. Oh, sure would be nice to have a way to put fuel in this thing. All right, we've got and back. That's no good unless I run something all the way through the back. Ah, see. Let's do the bottom. Put 1, 2, 3, 4. And we have that turret there. But we've already put that there. Yeah. So I'm not going to do any inset because that would mean whatever it docks to, the thing's got to be sticking up 2 full blocks because of these armor bits. So I'll make it the one that sticks out. Oh, still. So it needs to dock on something that's actually, it can't use an inset connector either on the other side. That seems like the sort of thing I'm likely to forget and then have to solve later on. Okay, but that's okay. I'm curious. They made a change to these lights. The bottom part isn't there anymore. So you can put them on panels. That part that sticks through. Which is cool, but I liked that bottom part. First of all, gave them some volume, which is good. And it meant if you put them on a quarter, it would extend down. You know, like if you put them here, and now they're just hanging on. They don't look as good. And while this use case over here is really cool, this one is a lot more common. For me, anyway. Because these plates are greebling. It just means now you can put lights on greebling, you know, or whatever. But most ships that's not going to be the outer part. So most ships I've seen anyway, it's just not. People don't tend to build like that because it's weak, you know. All right. All right, it's passable. It's functional. Let's put it like that. I do think there's some design work that needs to happen. Yeah, but for now it's functional. Let's put a docking light here, and let's put I think what I'm going to do is I want to find some places to put the oh yeah, there it is, the heat vents. I feel like these just don't get used enough for how cool they are. Oh right, we have a second form of these guys. Cool too. And this just kind of happened organically. It's not something I kind of consciously decided to do a lot. But I find that most of the time these vents, when I use them, it's for signaling. I think the first time I did it was I had a power plant with a bunch of H2 engines on a base, and I put these on top and kind of made them into like smokestacks, and then I set them so using an event controller so that
Fuel critical.
did I use an event? It doesn't matter. So that they turned on whenever the engines were on in the building. So I could see at a distance, at a glance, whether or not or when the engines were running. And then I did the same on an asteroid base on my last playthrough. I set them to electric sparks. It was the same situation. Yeah, I had a power plant, and I just wanted to be able to know at a glance from the distance when it was running. I don't like this yellow shell. So it's not it wasn't like a deliberate like, oh, this is what these are good for. This is what I'm going to use for all the time. But it definitely was like a use case. Oh, is that niche use case or a use case? I was just like, yeah, they are good for this. These just look good. I just rarely have an opportunity. I rarely find places that I think they look good in. I think they look good in general. Let's see. I suppose I need a beacon and. Right, here we go. I always end up putting beacons and antenna back between the engines because they're basically always afterthoughts. And that's like the most unobtrusive place I can think to put them. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now on the bottom here, is that just armor? There we go. We should probably, so nobody's embarrassed. And I just saw these bad boys. Do they come in small? Oh, they don't. Oh, what a crime. Okay. These guys come in small. They need to. Ooh, that would look good. Ooh, yeah, let's do that. One, two. Boom. Hmm. That looks better. This. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I like that. I like that. Yeah. Oh, I'm so happy with that. needs a lot of work. Think. The top and bottom are different here. Okay, though. Let's go with. Where is it? Don't want that. Is that what I was thinking of? Thinking of that. Here. The other one's across. Okay, I see. You know what? I don't really like either one. But go with it. Or wait, there's also this one. No, it's the one. That's the one. I do like that downward slope side. Doesn't match up with this anymore though. I'm not gonna solve that now. Alright. Let's see, we've got the navigation lights on the side, docking light on the bottom.
Fuel critical.
No searchlights or no headlights, no cameras. Not even a remote control block, so that might be a problem. Trying to lay down the path for the task recorder blocks for docking and undocking. Alright, well, that's okay. Every time you make one, you get a little bit better. Discover new things to remember. Just for the sake of it, put these here. There we go. Cool. All right, it is not pretty. Keep working on it. Yeah, I'll keep working on it. But I think that's most of the pieces. All the important pieces, I think. I do think it really needs a remote control block. Just so I can... I suppose even you could use the remote control block, just add it temporary. I think. Sure. Everything is conveyed. Oh, there's no cargo. Ah, can't believe it. Got that? No wonder it went so well. These do not hold alive. There it is. I think they hold 4, right? 5. And a small cargo. Because there's room to put small cargo. Let's paste 1. How many will you hold? 7. Oh yeah, that's right. Not many. Still, you know, I've got some straights. I've got 2 there. Then there's 1 here, and I think 1 there. Or yeah, there's 1 more down there. It would be kind of cool if they were all like this, just like in a row, and connected on the back end, but then also you could get to them from this side. That seems like the sort of utility that you'd want to build in. All right. Now to get that, all right. So the good news is I won't have to disrupt anything sitting on top because they're all sitting on this row of AI blocks. Oh yeah, actually. Oh no. Oh, the row of AI blocks goes that way. Okay. I don't normally like back-to-back conveyors. What's on top of that? Oh, nothing. And that. Ah, okay. So I'm thinking, let's see. Oh, is that my head? Holy shit. Yeah, I'm thinking I can just do the whole thing with here. Or, I was going to say with junctions, but actually I don't need junctions. 3 would give me 21 magazines. I do need one junction here. Yeah, I do need one junction here. So these can be T's. Right? We got 1, 2, and then this is a full. There. And here. 1, 2, 3. So there. Solid block there. We can come up. Whoa. Oh shit. Right. All right, and it doesn't matter, but there we go. All right, the lag. So we've got that. Of course, I just remembered I don't have any way to cover those. Like, there's no panel that'll cover those. I don't know how I feel about that. I do like that they're recessed. All right. Yeah. All right. I think that's going to do it for now. And for today. Yep. All right. So, thanks for tuning in. Tuning in, I guess. Anyways, thanks for watching. And I will see you guys hopefully next Monday. All right.